Hi friends, I'm Scott Giles and welcome to Power Talk, my podcast here on Facebook Live and YouTube. I cover topics related to spirituality, hypnocoaching, and the hypnotic arts and sciences in general. If you'd like to know more about my professional work as a hypnocoach or sign up for my free newsletter, Power Lines, check out my website, which I'll tag at the end of this video. Well, today I want to talk about a myth that a lot of busy people believe. Falling for this mythology results in not just lost productivity, but one takes an emotional hit as well, feeling hopeless, overwhelmed, and trapped. If that applies to you, pay attention. Well, the false belief I am referring to is the belief that there is going to come a time when you're all caught up, where you are at inbox zero for an extended period, and you can take a break with a completely free conscience. Now, if you're a shift worker where you show up in the morning to, as time management guru David Allen puts it, a pile of uncranked widgets next to a widget cranking machine, then maybe in this very limited sense, you can get all caught up. You crank your widgets until there are no more uncranked widgets left, and then you go home. But even if your work is mostly about cranking widgets, there will be other things on your plate from other parts of your life, and everything I'm going to say will apply to them. So here is the mistake that many people make. The reality is that there is never a time when you will be all caught up in any meaningful sense. I mean, yeah, you may hit inbox zero today, but by tomorrow morning, stuff will have already started to pile up. In the 21st century, most of us do not have lives where we just crank widgets and then go home. Instead, where we have lives where we do our work, we also have to meet our partnership and family responsibilities and parenting responsibilities and spiritual responsibilities. Then we have to network to keep our work relationships alive and well, and we have to keep up with our house maintenance, and we have to read or study at least a bit, and for some of us, far more than a bit, to stay current in our field. Then there's business, family, or professional travel, conferences, family emergencies, illnesses, and on and on and on. Instead of imagining in your mind your responsibilities along the line of a pile of uncranked widgets, you'll be better off considering it a workflow. Again, a concept I got from reading David Allen. As tasks leave the workflow pipeline because they're accomplished, other tasks are entering it. There will never be a time when the pipeline is empty for long. Think of it like housework. You keep your home up, and good for you or whoever does that for you. But because you are living in your house, as soon as it is spotless and clean, it starts immediately getting dirty again. The grass grows, a pipe cracks, the dog tracks in mud, the casserole explodes in the oven, and your momentarily clean home of a few minutes ago now resembles a war zone. No, there will never be a time when you are meaningfully caught up and you make a philosophical mistake by thinking that there will be. The reason that that will always be a mistake is because you are relying on something external to yourself to solve your problems, and that is never a good idea. Sure, it would be nice if the universe would cooperate with you and never put more on your plate than you can handle, but the universe is actually quite unlikely to do that. So instead, you need to take control of the responsibilities you have. To extend the workflow pipeline image mentioned earlier, you can't control the amount of stuff that's trying to get into the pipeline, but you can control the diameter of the pipe, and you can make sure the pipe is the best pipe you can figure out how to have. If you do not do this, you will get overwhelmed. If you get overwhelmed enough, your mood will crash. If your mood crashes, you will become sick and unhappy, and you will have no one to blame but yourself. What you do is to design your workflow. You organize things so you have an orderly way of doing your core tasks. For me, that's client care, producing my weekly podcasts and newsletters, creating hypnotic material, and taking care of my home, my own health, marriage, and my animal companions. And I have standard chunks of time that I set aside every week to get all of that done. Symbols for every one of these tasks appear at the top of my daily journal page, and I just don't knock off for the day unless the correct symbols are checked off. Everything else is discretionary. My church is asking if I can take over the pulpit on a Sunday. One of my professional organizations is asking if I can teach a class or help out with a profession-wide problem. Colleagues are asking for advice or help. All of that gets put in line as I have time available. I don't commit myself to do it unless I know I have time and space in my workflow pipeline. Now, I'm a high energy and organized person, so I do get a lot done. But I never get overwhelmed as I know what needs to come first and what might have to wait. When asked to do something, I know to check my workflow and see if there's a way I can accommodate it. But if not, I say sorry, but no. I don't fool myself by pretending that there will come a time when it will all get done and then I can take care of myself. Instead, one has to manage the workflow so that the important things get done and you take care of yourself now, not sometime in the future when you hit this mythical time when you're all caught up, because there ain't no such time, because the future time of relaxation will never actually arrive. Hey, thank you for your time and attention today. I'll be back next week with another talk on a different subject. I'd like to invite you to join me. It does help me if you let others know about my work and my videos, so please like, share, and subscribe. And if I can be of help to you, feel free to reach out through email, my website, or my Patreon channel. Have a great week.